It's crochet long day, yay! I have this no-sew pocket dino that I am super excited to share with you today. I made this dino in super bulky chenille yarn and they're about 3 inches tall. They work up in less than an hour, so I think they would make a great market prep amigurumi because they're super quick and they look cute in all the colors. Hi guys, I'm Katie from Yarn Society. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you are back, welcome back. I have missed you. Happy New Year. We will go through some supplies first and then we will get started making the pocket dinos. I just wanted to show you the brand of chenille that I'm using. It's this Premier and it's a super bulky 6 yarn, and the one that I'm using in the video, the pink, is called Cotton Candy. To get started, you can grab your yarn, an H hook, and a stitch marker. We're going to start out by making a slip knot and chaining 4. Here is 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to make a single crochet. We're going to move over, make another single crochet, and then we're going to make 3 single crochet in that last chain. Here's our first single crochet, move over for another, and then we're going to make 3 single crochet into that last chain. It's going to kind of bring you up to the other side. And then working down the other side, we're just going to make 1 single crochet into this stitch, and then a single crochet increase. Here's the one that we just worked our stitch into, so we're going to scooch over and make 1 single crochet. And then in this last stitch, we're going to make a single crochet increase. So here is 2 single crochet in the same stitch. At the end of round 1, you'll have 8 stitches. And then we're going to grab a stitch marker. I like to place my stitch marker in the last stitch of the round, but feel free to do what you like. For round 2, we're going to make a single crochet increase in each stitch around. So we have 8 stitches total. Place 2 single crochet into each stitch. So here is our first increase. We're going to move over and make another increase. Move over for another increase. This is our third. We have 8 total. It's a little tricky to get under that front loop. Here's our 4th increase. Our 5th increase. Here is our 6th increase. Our 7th, and our last increase for this round. So at the end of round 2, we're going to have 16 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 3, we want to get this boxy little look, and so I'll show you here how we're going to do that. We're going to make a single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches, and then we're going to place 3 single crochet into that third. So here we have 1 single crochet. We're going to move over and make 1 single crochet, and then we're going to make 3 single crochet into this stitch here. So here's 1, same stitch, 2, same stitch, 3. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3, and then we're going to place 3 single crochet into that next stitch. So we have single crochet, move over, single crochet, move over again, single crochet. Now we're going to place 3 single crochet into this stitch. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3, and then we're going to place 3 single crochet into that next stitch. Single crochet 2, move over for single crochet 3, and then we're going to place 3 single crochet into the next stitch. We're going to repeat that sequence again, so we have a single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then 3 single crochet into that next stitch. And then we'll place 3 single crochet here. We have 1 stitch left and we're just going to make a single crochet. So at the end of round 3, we kind of have our boxy look going on. We have 24 stitches. For round 4, we are going to single crochet all the way around for 24 stitches in the back loop only. So you're just going to place your hook under this back loop. So these little dino people, I've been watching a lot of trolls with my daughter, so they like remind me of little trolls or like little party people. I don't know if it's the colors or what, but growing up as a kid in the 90s, I grew up on the south side of Chicago and our music was like house music. So I just picture these guys dancing to house music and I just think it's so funny. I made up a whole story for them. If anyone here in my YouTube family actually listened to a DJ named Gino Rockin' Romo, you have to comment and let me know, because I feel like that was my whole childhood. I mean, he was my favorite. I knew every song, I had every mixtape. You definitely have to let me know if you ever heard of him or listened to him or any of that. I don't even know if house music is still a thing. And I'm really showing my oldness here, so sorry if you are younger and don't even know what that is. Okay, so we're at the end of round 4 and we still have 24 stitches. And here is this little ridge. This is round 4, so anything underneath that ridge is round 4, and it makes it a little bit easier when you're counting. For round 5 through 8, we're just going to be making single crochet stitches all the way around. If you're just starting out, I have a little trick for you. You can grab a stitch marker and place it on your second stitch, and then you can continue to single crochet as you would. When you get to the end of your first single crochet round, you can change your stitch marker, and now we would be starting with round 6. You can see here that it's really easy to count with that stitch marker because here is round 5, round 6, and then you would just continue with 7 and 8. That's just a nice little trick if you're just starting out and you're unsure about rounds. Okay, we're going to be starting round 9, and round 9 is a little bit different. It does have a bobble stitch, and we will go through that, but I do have a video that goes a lot slower if you need it. We're going to start out by making 3 decreases, and I like to make an invisible decrease. So if you don't know how to do that, I also have a video that goes slower, and I will go a little bit slower in the beginning. So to make the invisible decrease, you'll want to place your hook under the front loop of the first stitch, and then directly under the front loop of the next. You're going to yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through again. So that's our first decrease. We're going to move over and make another decrease. We're going to place our hook underneath those both front loops, pull through and pull through. Now we're going to make our third invisible decrease. And then we're going to make a single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Here we have 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to make a small bobble in the front loop only. A trick for myself is I essentially think of a small bobble as 3 double crochets that I don't finish. So I'll show you that here. You're going to yarn over. We're going to place our hook behind the front loop only. We're going to yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're going to do our second. We're going to yarn over, go through the same front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to do our third. We're going to yarn over, place our hook into that same front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now here's where we make the bobble. We're going to have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 4 loops. Then we are going to continue with single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Here's single crochet 1. Just going to pop out that bobble stitch a little bit. Here is single crochet 2, 3, and 4. We're going to do one more small bobble, so we're going to go under that front loop only. We're going to yarn over, go under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go through that same loop again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the same front loop again, and then yarn over and pull through 2. You'll have 4 loops on the hook, pull through all 4 loops. We're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to finish off by making 3 more decreases. Here's our single crochet. Pop your bobble. I'm just going to tighten up that yarn a little bit. You don't want to pull straight up, you just kind of want to pull straight back. So here we're going to do a invisible decrease. This is our first one of 3. Here's 1. Keep getting these little things in my yarn. 2. And here's our last one. I was just playing with that black chenille and it kind of got everywhere, so now it's all up in my pink yarn. Okay, we're going to change our stitch marker. At the end of round 9, you'll have 18 stitches. We're going to be moving on to round 10, and round 10 is where we're going to be making our tail. I suggest for the pattern grabbing 2 stitch markers, placing it on that first back loop that you see, and then I place one on the 4th back loop. This is just a guide for me when we continue on after we make the tail. Okay, to get started, we are going to go through the front loop only. We're going to make a single crochet in the next 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. From here, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work. Now we're going to make a single crochet in the next 4. We're going to go into that first stitch and we're going to single crochet. We're going under both loops. Here's 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. From here, we're going to make 2 decreases. We're going to place our hook into the first stitch. We're going to grab our yarn, pull up, and then insert into the next stitch. Grab your yarn, pull up, yarn over, pull through. We're going to make another decrease here. And now we're going to chain 1 and turn. We have 2 stitches. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here is 1 and 2. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to make 1 decrease because we have 2 stitches. Here is our decrease. It's a little tight to get into that corner stitch, but make sure you get under both loops. So now we have 1 stitch. We're going to chain 1 and turn. We're just going to make a single crochet. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to start getting bigger again. So we're going to do 1 increase, a single crochet increase. Here's our 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to make a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Corner stitch is tough stuff. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to make an increase in each of the 2 stitches. So we will end up with 4 stitches at the end of this row. Again, I'm struggling, get it under there. We're going to chain 1, turn, and then we're going to make a single crochet in each of the next 4. We're done with the tail. We're just going to chain 1, and you know you're on the right track if your hook is on the side of the first stitch marker. We're just going to fold this over. We want to attach our tail to that back loop of the first stitch marker. We're going to insert our hook into that first stitch, and then we're going to insert it into that back loop stitch that we marked. I'm going to take out my stitch marker. I'm going to get set up with my yarn. And then we're just going to make a single crochet. Just want to make sure that your yarn is on the side of your hook, yarn over, pull through to make a single crochet. Insert your hook into the next stitch of the tail, and then in that second back loop of the stitch. Here, just so you can see a little bit better, we're going to yarn over and pull through to make a single crochet. Now I'm going to go into my third stitch of the tail, my third back loop, make a single crochet, and then my last stitch of the tail. If I can get in there, struggling with these corners. And then go into that back loop, that fourth stitch that you marked, that's your last one, and single crochet. So now you're attached and you're all good. From here we are going to single crochet in the next 14, and this is your first stitch to go into. Go under both loops. Continue to go all the way around until you reach your stitch marker. If you have any trouble with the tail, you can always look at the pattern as well. I have the link down below, or you can slow down the video by hitting that gear button that you see in the corner, and you can slow it down. Okay, we're almost at the end. Just gonna finish up here and change my stitch marker. When counting your stitches, you want to make sure that you have 18 stitches. You would count this one as your first stitch and then count all the way around. We're going to place our eyes now, so I'm just going to grab the stitch marker and put it in my working yarn so I don't lose my yarn. We're going to grab 12mm safety eyes. You can go ahead and do that. We're going to place our eyes between round 6 and 7, and we know that this round is round 4, the one that's right below that bar. Here's between round 6 and 7. I'm just going to grab a pin and kind of put that in the middle, right between those little feet. You want to leave 4 stitches open in between the eye, and the eyes end up going like right above the feet. Once you have those placed and you're happy with the placement, go ahead and attach the back. We are all attached. We're just going to add a little bit of stuffing. We have one more chance to stuff after this, so I do give myself a lot of slack. I don't overstuff. And when you are stuffing, you want to make sure that your top stays flat. So I changed my stitch marker already. I'm taking out that other one. For round 11, we are going to single crochet in the first 6 stitches. So here's that chain stitch. Skip that. You're going into your first stitch of round 11, which is this one. So single crochet in the next 6. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to finish up this round with all decreases. So it's 6 decreases total. Here is our first decrease. Here's our second. Things get a little bit trickier to hold when you add that stuffing. Here's our third. Our fourth. Our fifth. And our 6th last decrease. From here, we're going to have 12 stitches. We have one more round before we close. This is our last chance to stuff. Give yourself a little slack. You can add a stitch marker if you'd like. And as you're stuffing, just make sure that you keep that top flat. We're moving on to our last round. This is round 12. We're going to do the same thing again. We're just going to decrease all the way around for 6. This round was the hardest round of all. The yarn is so slippery, so just give yourself time and really try to get your hook underneath that front loop. Here's our second decrease. our third. And I'm just going to let you guys finish up with the last 3 decreases. I'm working on my last decrease now. I just took out my stitch marker to help me out a little bit. And then we have 6 stitches at the end of this round. We're going to leave a long piece of yarn. Then we're going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling through. I like to give this a tug at the end. You're going to lose a little bit of that yarn, and that's okay. It gets a little sheddy at this point. Grab your yarn needle and then weave your yarn through the needle. Here is my fastened off stitch. Now I'm going to count backwards to number 6, and it's usually pretty hidden back here. I'm going to go under the front loop only, and I'm going to pull my yarn needle through. Then I'm going to go and find the 5th stitch. Here's the 4th, the 3rd, 2nd, and then here's that 1st stitch. Go ahead and pull that tight. You want to keep an eye on where that circle is, but just go ahead and pull. And then you're going to insert your needle through where that little hole was. Weave your yarn in well. You're going to pull this a little bit. Don't pull too tight because this yarn can snap, but give it a little tug and then kind of help it out by smushing it a bit. And then weave in the rest of your yarn. We're going to do the spikes next, and I'm just going to show you the order. So we have 2 small bobbles, then we have a big bobble, or regular bobble, and then we have 3 small bobbles, and then I just finished off with a few single crochet. To get started, we are going to go under round 5, so we know that that's 4, and here's 5. You're going to put your hook up through the middle, and because we're working in rounds, you can't really go straight up. You kind of have to go at a little bit of a curve. So I tend to usually go up this way. We're going to grab a contrasting color. For me, it's purple, and we're just going to connect it. So pull that through. I like to hold the other side, and then essentially we're just chaining 1. Now we're going to place our hook under that same stitch again, and we're going to make the small bobble. So think of it as your 3 double crochets that you're not finishing. So pull through 2. This is our 2nd time going in. Pull through 2. And then this is our 3rd time going into the same stitch. Pull through 2, and then pull through all 4 stitches. Now we're going to make a chain 1. And then we're going to move up a stitch. So we're going to go back through our pink and just go up 1 stitch and make a single crochet because we want a little bit of room in between these bobbles. Okay, so now I'm going to go up another stitch. Try to go as straight as you can. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go underneath this whole thing here. I don't want to grab that tiny stitch, so I'm going to go under here and then make your small bobble. That was an airplane that just took off, if you heard that. Didn't know what that was. Okay, so now we've finished, almost done with our bobble, small bobble. We're going to chain 1, we're going to move up a stitch, and we're going to single crochet. So now we have our regular bobble, which is essentially like 5 double crochets that we're not finishing. If it's easier, you can go under 2 stitches to get that whole middle section. Or if you're having a hard time getting through, you can decide just to do 1. So here I'm struggling. I'm getting stuck probably on my chain, my foundation chain. So I'm going to get that out of there. And I'm going to yarn over, and I'm just going to go through this stitch. This might be the easiest route for me. So here is going through first time. Now we're going to go through, yarn over, go through 2. yarn over, this is our third time, go through 2, yarn over, this is our fourth time to the same stitch, yarn over, go through 2, and here is our fifth time. This guy gets big, so it gets a little tough. Go through 2. Now you're going to have 6 loops on your hook. Go through all 6 loops. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to move up a stitch and make a single crochet. Your pink yarn will be pulled up as you do these bobbles, and we will fix that later. So make sure you're still on track to go pretty straight. You don't want to get too off kilter here. And you can always go back and turn your guy around and just make sure you're on the right track. So from here, we're going to make 3 more small bobbles. Here's our first small bobble. We're going to chain 1, go up and single crochet, grab a stitch. This one I'm grabbing 2, I'm just going to go for it. And this is our second small bobble. Chain 1, go up a stitch, make a single crochet, and then we're going to make our last small bobble. We're going to chain 1, and then we're just going to single crochet down until we reach the tail. So usually I've noticed I've had to make 2 or 3 single crochets to get to that tail. Now you can leave a piece of yarn, a long piece of yarn. We're going to fasten off, so go ahead and yarn over and pull through. And then I just like to tug that end a bit. Go ahead and weave both of those pieces of yarn. Okay, now it's smushing time. You can go ahead and fix your bobbles, get them centered. You can smush down that and go ahead and push down the top of your dino because sometimes it gets pulled up while we're crocheting. Fix our tail here a second. For the last finishing touch, if you would like, you can take a pink piece of yarn or any color yarn, and all I'm going to do is just weave that in to give it a little bit of color for the cheeks. So I usually go right next to the eye over 1 stitch. And then kind of fluff that out with your yarn needle a bit because it's going to get in there pretty good. Weave in your extra yarn and you are done. Here are all my friends and all the colors I made. You guys will have to let me know what colors you decide to use and what yarn. I do in the description box tell you how you can make it in different types of yarn like worsted weight and things, so you can read that down below. Thanks for joining me on this crochet along. If you like this video, please check this one out next and subscribe to Yarn Society for more crochet tutorials and crochet alongs, and check out yarnsociety.com for free patterns.